The first time Lily Morgan refused a Mafia boss's fiancée. She was holding a cheap brass room key in one hand and a can of pepper spray under the front desk with the other. Rain slammed against the windows of the Silver Pines Motel like someone trying to break in. The lobby lights flickered. The neon vacancy sign outside buzzed red against the wet glass, painting the floor the color of a warning. The woman standing in front of Lily did not belong in a place like this. She wore a white silk coat cinched at the waist, pearl earrings, diamond heels, and a veil pinned into her glossy black hair as if she had stepped out of a wedding magazine and into the wrong nightmare. Her lipstick was perfect. Her nails were perfect. Her smile was not. "Give me the key," the woman said. Lily kept her hand closed. Around the brass tag marked 214. I can't release a private room key without the security phrase. The woman's smile sharpened. "I just told you who I am. You told me your name. Serena Belmont." Her voice lowered with the smooth cruelty of someone used to watching people fold. "Dominic Vale's future wife." The name moved through the lobby like cold air. The trucker, by the vending machine, stopped opening his soda. An elderly couple near the faded sofa looked at the floor. Even Lily's co-worker, Marty, who usually pretended not to hear conflict, disappeared into the back office and left the door open only half an inch. Lily had heard the name Dominic Vale once before. Not from gossip, not from the news, from the man himself. 4 hours earlier, he had entered the motel alone, soaking wet, wearing a black coat over a blood-dark shirt that was not bleeding anymore but looked as if it had been close. He had placed cash on the counter, looked Lily straight in the eyes, and said, "No one gets my room key unless they know the phrase." What phrase, Lily had asked. He had leaned closer. He smelled faintly of rain, expensive cologne, and danger. "The bride wears black," he said. Then he had added, "If anyone gets it wrong, call the number I left, not the police." Lily should have been afraid then, but she had been too tired to panic. At 28, after 6 years of night shifts, unpaid bills, rude guests, and men who looked through her like her curvy body and tired eyes made her part of the furniture, Lily had learned that fear was only useful if it sharpened you, and Dominic Vale had not scared her as much as the people who followed him with fake smiles. Now his so-called fiancée stood inches from the counter. "I know. He's in room 214. Serena said. "I know he checked in under the name Daniel Voss. I know he asked for no calls, no housekeeping, and no cameras on the second-floor hallway. I know he left orders with you because he likes making ordinary people feel important." Lily's stomach tightened. She knew too much, but she still did not know the phrase. "I'm sorry," Lily said. "I can't give you the key." Serena laughed softly. "You are motel staff." "Yes." "You make what?" $12 an hour. 15 after midnight. A flicker of anger passed over Serena's beautiful face. "You re-embarrassing yourself." Lily felt heat rise in her cheeks, but she did not move. She had been embarrassed before, by men who asked if the motel charged extra for women her size, by women who left fake smiles and no tips, by managers who said she had a nice personality as if it were an apology for how she looked. Embarrassment had never killed her, but opening the wrong door might kill someone else. Security phrase, Lily repeated. Serena leaned forward until the diamonds on her throat caught the motel's yellow light. The groom wears red. Lily went still. The wrong phrase. Not close. Not accidental. Wrong. The rain hit harder. Serena noticed Lily's expression, and for the first time, her confidence cracked. Not much. Just enough. Then, the lobby door opened. Wind swept rain across the tile. 3 men entered first. Black suits. Wet shoulders. Hands near their jackets. Then Dominic Vale stepped inside. He looked calmer than the storm. Tall. Broad-shouldered. Black hair damp from rain. Face carved with exhaustion and control. A faint bruise marked his cheekbone. Tattoos disappeared beneath the cuffs of his shirt and climbed up the side of his throat like shadows, refusing to stay hidden. The lobby seemed to shrink around him. Serena turned. For half a second, she looked relieved. Then Dominic's eyes moved to Lily's hand. The key was still there. Then to Serena. Then back to Lily. No one spoke. Serena's fingers began to tremble. Dominic noticed. So did Lily. And in that silence, Lily understood something before anyone said it. The woman in white had not come to love him. She had come to unlock his door. Dominic walked toward the counter. Every step sounded measured. Final, Serena lifted her chin. Dominic. Darling. This girl. Dante. He said. One word. No anger. No raised voice. Just control, so absolute, it made the air feel dangerous. Serena stopped speaking. Dominic turned fully toward Lily. His gaze was dark, unreadable, and heavy enough to make her breath catch. Everyone expected him to punish her. The trucker had gone pale. The elderly couple clung to each other. Martier's shadow vanished completely behind the office door. Dominic looked at the key in Lily's hand, then at the pepper spray half hidden beneath the desk. The corner of his mouth moved almost imperceptibly. Then he asked, "How did you know she was lying?" Lily swallowed. She knew everything except the one thing she was supposed to know. Dominic's eyes did not leave hers. And what was that? Lily hesitated. Something about the room changed. Serena stopped shaking. Now she looked terrified. Lily lowered her voice. The bride wears black. Dominic closed his eyes for 1 second. When he opened them again, the coldness in his face had changed. Not softened. Focused. Take her, he said. Serena stepped back. Dominic. 2 bodyguards moved. The lobby erupted. Serena grabbed Lily's wrist across the counter, her perfect nails digging into skin. You stupid little girl, Serena hissed. You have no idea what you just ruined. Lily tried to pull back, but Serena's grip was vicious. Dominic moved faster than anyone expected. He caught Serena's hand, peeled her fingers off Lily's wrist one by one, and leaned close enough that only the women could hear him. She did not ruin anything, he said quietly. She kept you from finishing it. Serena's face went white. Then the lights went out. For one breath, the motel vanished into darkness. A gunshot cracked through the front window. Glass exploded inward. Someone screamed. Dominic vaulted over the counter, grabbed Lily by the waist, and dragged her down behind the desk as bullets tore through the lobby where her head had been seconds before. Lily hit the floor hard, her back against his chest. his arm locked around her like a steel band. "Stay down," he said against her ear. She could feel his heartbeat. Slow, controlled. Hers was wild. The lobby filled with shouts, breaking glass, and the thunder of men returning fire. Lily pressed both hands over her mouth to keep from screaming. Dominic shielded her body with his own. A bullet punched through the wood above them. Splinters rained into her hair. She turned her face and found him watching her. Not the gunfire. Not the door. Not Serena being dragged away. Here, as if in the middle of death, he had found one thing he could not afford to lose. And Lily, who had been invisible to everyone for years, suddenly felt seen by the most dangerous man in Nevada. The shooting lasted less than a minute. The silence after felt worse. Dominic rose first, gun in hand, eyes scanning the room. One of his men barked orders. Another covered the shattered window. The elderly couple cried behind the sofa. The trucker lay flat on the floor, whispering prayers. Lily stayed frozen. Her wrist burned where Serena had grabbed her. Her knees shook. Dominic crouched in front of her. "Are you hit?" She shook her head. "Use words." "No." His jaw tightened at the sound of her voice. He reached out like he intended to touch her cheek, then stopped himself inches away. That hesitation unsettled Lily more than the gunfire. Men like him took what they wanted. Dominic Vale stopped himself. "Good," he said. Then his expression hardened again. "We need to leave." Lily blinked. "We?" "You just became a witness." "To what?" "To my fiancé trying to have me killed." Lily let out a breathless laugh that held no humor. "I have work." Dominic stared at her. The motel lobby was destroyed. Rain blew through the broken window. 2 black SUVs had just pulled in outside like predators. "You have enemies now," he said. "I don't even have health insurance." His gaze dropped to her bleeding wrist. The marks Serena left were small, but Dominic looked at them like they were a declaration of war. "You do now. I am not going anywhere with you." Another shot cracked from outside. Dominic moved instantly, pushing her back down as his men returned fire through the broken entrance. Lily's argument died in her throat. Dominic leaned close, his voice low and controlled. "Lily Morgan, listen carefully. Whoever came for me saw your face. Serena touched you. She marked you. That means she will remember you. If I leave you here, you die before sunrise." The sound of her name in his mouth made her stomach twist. "You know my name. You were wearing a name tag." He glanced at the little plastic badge pinned crookedly to her blouse. For reasons she could not explain, that made her want to cry. Not because it was sweet, because everyone saw the badge. He had actually read it. Dominic stood and held out his hand. Lily stared at it. Behind him, Serena was shoved toward one of the SUVs, her veil torn, her perfect face twisted with rage. "You'll regret protecting him," Serena shouted at Lily. "He destroys everything he wants." Dominic did not look back. Lily did. Serena smiled then. A small, poisonous smile. "And he'll want you because you saved him." Lily felt the warning slide under her skin. Dominic's hand stayed extended. Rain blew through the shattered glass. Lily had spent her life choosing survival over pride. So she took his hand. The moment her fingers touched his, Dominic closed his grip around hers like a vow he had no right to make. He pulled her up, wrapped his black coat around her shoulders, and led her through the ruined lobby into the storm. Outside, the motel parking lot glowed under neon and flashing headlights. A bodyguard opened the rear door of a black SUV. Lily hesitated at the threshold. "This is kidnapping," she said. Dominic looked down at her. "This is protection. There's a difference." "Yes." "What?" His eyes moved over her face. "Lingering too long. You can leave when it's safe." "And when is that?" Dominic did not answer. That was the moment Lily understood. In Dominic Vale's world, safety was not a place. It was permission. And she had just stepped into a world where men like him decided who lived long enough to receive it. The SUV tore away from the Silver Pines Motel, with two others surrounding it. Reno blurred past in streaks of rain and neon casinos, pawn shops, gas station, wedding chapels with plastic roses glowing under storm clouds. Lily sat stiffly in the back seat. Dominic beside her, his coat heavy over her shoulders. His scent surrounded her. Smoke, rain, cheddar, blood she could not see. She hated that it steadied her. Dominic spoke into a phone in Italian. His tone clipped and lethal. Lily caught only names. Belmont, Ricky, East, Corridor, camera feed, child file. She turned slightly. Dominic ended the call. "What child?" she asked. His gaze shifted to her. For a second, she saw surprise. Then the wall came down. "Nothing that concerns you. You said I'm a witness. Witnesses usually get information. Witnesses usually get killed. Then, I'd like information before that happens." The driver's eyes flicked to the mirror. Dominic did not smile, but something sharpened in his gaze. "You re-brave when you re-terrified. I'm underpaid. There's a difference. This time." The corner of his mouth almost moved. Almost. Then his phone rang again. He answered, listened, and his face went colder. "How many?" he asked. Silence. "Burn the car. Move the body. Find the shooter's tattoo." Lily went very still. Dominic noticed. He lowered the phone. "You heard nothing?" "I heard enough." "Then forget it. That is not how ears work." A bodyguard in the front seat coughed once, like he was hiding a laugh. Dominic's gaze cut forward. The car went silent. Lily looked out the window, forcing herself to breathe. She should have been planning escape. Instead, her mind returned to the way he had shielded her. No hesitation. No calculation. A man like Dominic Vale probably had 100 reasons to protect a witness. But when he covered her body with his own, it had not felt like strategy. It had felt personal. And that terrified her more than Serena's threat. They drove beyond the casino lights, past the edge of Reno, into the dark hills, where gated homes hid behind stone walls and surveillance cameras. The SUV stopped before a private estate tucked against the mountains. Not a mansion, exactly. A fortress pretending to be one. Steel gates opened. Guards watched from both sides. Cameras followed the vehicle up the long drive. The house was all glass, dark stone, and warm interior light. Beautiful in the lonely way expensive places often were. Lily stared. "I can't stay here." Dominic opened the door. "You can. I have rent." Job. Cat. He paused. A cut. Yes. Pancake. His expression did something strange. Someone will bring pancake. No one is touching my cat. Then give me instructions. Lily stared at him. Rain dripping from her hair. You can order people to burn cars. But you re-asking about cat food. Dominic stepped close enough that she had to tilt her head back. His voice lowered. I can do both. The door opened behind him. Warmth spilled out. Lily walked inside, because the alternative was standing in the rain arguing with a Mafia boss about feline custody. The interior smelled of leather, coffee, and money. Marble floors, high ceilings, a wall of windows overlooking the storm-lit valley. Men in suits moved silently through rooms with guns beneath their jackets. Lily suddenly became aware of herself. Her motel blouse was damp and wrinkled. Her black pants clung to her thighs. Her shoes squeaked against the marble. Her hair, usually pinned back for work, had come loose around her round face. She felt too big, too plain, too visible. Dominic noticed the way her shoulders curled inward beneath his coat. His eyes darkened. Don't do that. Lily looked up. Do what? Make yourself smaller. The words hit somewhere tender. She wanted to snap back. Instead, she looked away. I'm not doing anything. Yes, he said quietly. You are. Before she could answer, an older man entered from a side hallway, carrying a medical kit. He had silver hair, tired eyes, and the stern patience of someone who had seen too much blood. Dominic, he said, you were shot at twice in 6 hours. Sit down. Infine. Raphael, you are bleeding through your shirt. Lily turned sharply. Dominic gave Raphael a look that should have killed him. Raphael ignored it. Lily looked at Dominic's side. Beneath the black fabric, there was a spreading darkness. You were hit. It grazed me. When? In the lobby. Her mouth parted. He had been shot while covering her. And he had said nothing. Dominic's gaze held hers. It's nothing. Lily's anger came so fast it startled her. You protected me while you were bleeding. His face remained calm. Yes. Why? The room seemed to still. Even Raphael stopped opening the medical kit. Dominic looked at her for a long moment. Then he said, because you protected me first. That should not have affected her. It did. Raphael cleared his throat. Both of you sit. Dominic sat only after Lily did. Raphael cleaned Lily's wrist first. Dominic watched every movement. Expression unreadable. Until Lily finally snapped. It's a scratch. Serena Belmont does not scratch people accidentally. Dominic said. You make her sound like a snake. No. His voice chilled. Snakes bite for survival. Serena bites for pleasure. Lily remembered the shaking. The fear. Why was she scared when you arrived? Dominic said nothing. Raphael's hands paused. Lily looked between them. There's something about her. There are many things about her. Dominic said. She said she was your future wife. She was. The words landed like a stone. Lily looked down at her bandaged wrist. Of course. He was engaged. To a traitor. Maybe. To a beautiful woman in silk. Definitely. Lily hated the small, ugly twist of disappointment inside her. She had known him one night. One impossible night. She had no right to feel anything. Dominic watched her withdraw. His voice lowered. It was arranged. That doesn't make it fake. It made it useful. And now it makes it dangerous. Raphael cut open Dominic's shirt. Lily tried not to look. Failed. A long graze marked his ribs. Angry and red, but not deep. His skin was inked with black designs, roses, knives, dates, names in old script. One tattoo near his heart caught her eye. A small bird cage. Empty. Dominic saw her looking. His hand moved to cover it. Too late. What does that mean? She asked. Nothing. That's twice you've said that tonight. His eyes met hers. And yet, you keep asking. Because you keep lying badly. Raphael made a low sound that might have been amusement. Dominic's expression turned dangerous. Not toward her. Toward the fact that she was right. Before he could answer, a young bodyguard entered. Boss. We found the shooter's mark. Dominic stood despite Raphael's protest. The man handed him a phone. Dominic looked at the image. Something in his face changed. Not shock. Recognition. Pain hidden so deep it looked like rage. Lily saw the symbol on the screen from where she sat. A silver fox tattoo on the shooter's wrist. Dominic closed his hand around the phone. Belmont's. Raphael said quietly. Dominic's voice was flat. No. Worse. The room went colder. The Ricci family. Raphael crossed himself. Lily's mouth went dry. She did not know Mafia politics. But she knew fear when it passed through hardened men. Dominic looked toward the windows, where stormlight reflected across his face. Serena sold my location to the family that murdered my brother. Lily's breath caught. Then Dominic turned back. And now they know you stopped her. That night, Lily was placed in a guest suite, larger than her entire apartment. Dominic did not enter. He stood at the door while a woman named Eleanor brought clothes, toiletries, and a tray of food Lily could not imagine eating. 2 guards waited in the hallway. You'll be safe here, Dominic said. Lily folded her arms over the oversized sweater Elena had given her. Safe means locked in. His jaw tightened. The door locks from the inside. And the guards. For anyone coming in. Not for me leaving. His silence was answer enough. Lily laughed bitterly. You said I could leave when it was safe. It isn't. Convenient. Dominic stepped closer. But not into the room. Rain streaked the windows behind Lily. The warm light softened nothing about him. He looked like danger dressed in restraint. I don't expect you to trust me, he said. Good. I expect you to survive. Lily looked away first. Survival was a language she understood. Dominic's voice changed. Quieter. Now, your cat will be here within the hour. Despite everything. Her throat tightened. You sent someone. You said no one touches him without instructions. Here. Dominic blinked. Pancake is a girl. I'll correct the order. A ridiculous silence stretched between them. Then Lily whispered, Why are you doing this? Dominic's hand rested on the doorframe. His knuckles were bruised. Because when everyone else wanted access to me, you stood between me and a locked door. That was my job. No, he said. Most people abandon their job when power walks in wearing diamonds. Lily did not know what to say. Dominic looked at her one last time. Sleep if you can. Then he left. The door closed. Lily locked it. Then she sat on the edge of a bed, too soft for a woman used to exhaustion, and listened to men with guns move through the hallway. At 3 Szeptember M. A carrier appeared outside her door. Inside was Pancake. Furious, fluffy, and alive. Lily dropped to the floor and cried into her cat's fur. She hated that Dominic Vale had kept his promise. It made him harder to hate. By morning, Lily's life had become a surveillance file. Dominic knew her apartment address, her work schedule, her overdue electric bill, her mother/medical debt, and the fact that her younger sister had disappeared from Reno 3 years earlier after getting involved with a casino manager tied to criminal money. Lily learned this because she walked into Dominic's office at sunrise and found her life spread across his desk. Photos, reports, bank statements. Her face went cold. What is this? Dominic looked up from behind the desk. He had changed into a black shirt. Sleeves rolled to his forearms. His wound did not seem to slow him. Men like him probably considered pain an inconvenience. Protection assessment. It's my life. Yes. You had no right. No. The honesty stopped her. Dominic closed the file. But Serena knows your name now. The Rixus will know by noon. I needed to know where they would strike. Lily stepped closer. Anger burning through embarrassment. You don't get to turn my life into paperwork. Dominic stood. He was taller than her by enough to intimidate most people. Lily refused to step back. I am trying to keep you alive. You are trying to control every variable. His gaze sharpened. That is how I keep people alive. Did it work for your brother? Silence slammed down. The guards at the door went rigid. Lily knew instantly she had gone too far. Dominic's face emptied. Not angry. Worse. Gone. Raphael, standing near the window, closed his eyes. Lily's voice softened despite herself. I'm sorry. Dominic looked at her for a long, unbearable second. My brother Luca trusted Serena, he said. He died with her name on his phone and a Ricci bullet in his throat. Lily's stomach dropped. I didn't know. No, Dominic said. You didn't. He turned toward the window. Below. Black cars lined the driveway like a funeral procession. 3 years ago, Serena was engaged to Luca before she was promised to me. The night he died, she claimed she was kidnapped. She cried at his funeral. She wore black lace and held my mother's hand. His voice remained controlled, but Lily heard something underneath. A wound still breathing. After Luca died, my father arranged my engagement to Serena to preserve peace with the Belmonts. I accepted because my family needed time, because war would have killed hundreds, because I thought I could watch her closely enough to find the truth. Lily whispered. And did you? Dominic turned back. Last night was the truth. Before Lily could answer, the office doors opened. 2 guards entered with Serena between them. She no longer looked like a bride. Her veil was gone. Her silk coat was stained with rain. Her diamond heels clicked against the floor with trembling precision, but her eyes were still sharp. When she saw Lily, she smiled. Oh, good. The motel girl is still here. Dominic's voice cut through the room. You don't speak to her. Serena laughed, but her hands shook. That's new. Dominic walked toward her slowly. Every man in the room seemed to stop breathing. You gave the Rixis my location. Serena lifted her chin. No. You gave them my alias. No. You gave them my room number. Her eyes flicked once to Lily. It was enough. Dominic saw it. So did Lily. Serena's mouth tightened. She should have given me the key. But she didn't. Dominic moved closer. And that terrifies you. Serena's composure cracked. You think she saved you, Serena spat. She delayed the inevitable. The Rixis don't want you dead. Dominic. They want what Luca left behind. The room went still. Dominic's eyes narrowed. What did Luca leave behind? Serena's smile returned. Trembling and triumphant. Ask your precious motel girl about missing sisters. Lily felt the floor tilt. Dominic turned slowly toward her. What does she mean? Lily's voice came out thin. My sister vanished 3 years ago. Serena laughed softly. Not vanished. Lily's blood turned cold. Where is she? Serena's eyes glittered. Dead. Probably. But the baby lived. Lily stopped breathing. Dominic's face changed in a way Lily had never seen before. Not control. Not rage. Devastation. What baby? He asked. Serena looked at him with cruel satisfaction. Luca's child. Raphael whispered. Madonna. Lily grabbed the edge of the desk. My sister had a baby. Serena tilted her head. Your sister? Nora Morgan. Was Luca Vale's secret lover. He hid her because he knew my family would kill her. Then he died. She ran. And the Rixis found her before Dominic did. No. Lily whispered. Serena continued. Each word a knife. The child is alive. A little girl. 4 years old now. Hidden under witness protection. The file Luca left behind is the only proof she is Vale blood. That file was in Dominic's possession until last night. Dominic moved so fast Serena flinched. He stopped inches from her. Where is the child? Serena's lips parted. Fear returned. Real fear. I don't know. Dominic's voice dropped. Lying to me has consequences. Serena swallowed. I don't know. But the Rixis do. They wanted your room because they thought the file was there. Lily looked at Dominic. The security phrase. She whispered. The bride wears black. His eyes met hers. Luca's funeral. Serena's face twisted. You sentimental fool. Dominic did not look at her. For the first time, his attention was entirely on Lily, her sister, his brother, a child neither of them knew existed, a dead man's secret binding them together. Lily's throat closed. I need to find her. Dominic's answer came instantly. We will. No. I will. His expression hardened. You won't survive 1 hour looking alone. She's my niece. And my blood. The words collided between them. Not romantic. Not gentle. A claim. A war beginning. Lily stepped close to him, shaking with fury and grief. You don't get to own her because of blood. His eyes burned. I don't own children. You own everything else. His jaw flexed. Not you. The room went silent again. Lily looked at him. Breath caught. Dominic seemed to realize what he had said only after it was too late. Serena watched them both, and suddenly her smile became knowing. "Oh," she whispered. "This is better than I thought." Dominic's hand moved, not to strike, to silence. But Lily spoke first. "Get her out." Dominic looked at her. Lily's voice trembled, but did not break. "Before I do something I regret." Dominic held her gaze. Then he said to his men, "Take Serena downstairs." Serena was dragged out, laughing, but her laughter followed Lily long after the doors closed. By noon, Dominic's estate had become a war room. Maps covered the dining table. Security feeds glowed across the walls. Men moved in and out with phones, weapons, and orders. The name Nora Morgan appeared again and again beside casino records. Hospital, aliases, sealed custody documents, and a witness protection transfer Dominic was not supposed to access, but somehow did. Lily stood near the windows, arms wrapped around herself, watching strangers dissect the sister she had mourned without a grave. Nora had been wild, beautiful, reckless, and tender in the ways that hurt most. She had loved bad men and sad songs. She had called Lily my lighthouse because Lily was always the one who stayed lit when everything else went dark. 3 years ago, Nora had called Lily crying from a payphone. "I did something stupid," she had whispered. "What did you do?" "I loved someone I shouldn't have." Then the line cut. Lily never heard her sister's voice again. Now Dominic stood over a file with Nora's photo in his hand. His face revealed nothing, but his thumb rested carefully at the edge of the picture, as if he knew grief could bruise paper too. "Did Luca love her?" Lily asked. Dominic looked up. The room quieted around them, though no one admitted it. "Yes." "How do you know?" "He kept no photographs. He believed evidence got people killed." Dominic looked down at Nora's image. "But after he died?" "I found one in his watch." Lily's chest hurt. "Can I see it?" Dominic hesitated. Then he reached beneath his collar and removed a chain. On it hung a small silver locket. He opened it. Inside was a tiny folded photograph, worn soft at the creases. Nora stood on a pier at sunset, laughing at whoever had taken the picture. A man's shadow stretched beside hers, not visible, but present. Lily touched the edge of the locket. Her finger brushed Dominic's. Both of them stilled. A small, electric silence passed between them. Dominic pulled his hand back first. "I kept it because Luca couldn't," he said. Lily looked at him differently then. Not softer, more carefully. He was still dangerous, still controlling, still a man who gave orders that made other men disappear. But grief lived in him, not as weakness, as architecture. It had built him into something cold enough to survive. A bodyguard entered. "Boss, we found a transfer record. A child moved from a federal safe house outside Carson City 8 months ago. Name: Ella Reed." Lily's knees weakened. Nora had always loved the name Ella. Dominic noticed and moved toward her. He stopped before touching her. That restraint again. That impossible, almost. "Breathe," he said. Lily hated that she obeyed. The bodyguard continued. The child was placed with a foster guardian under sealed protection. But someone accessed the file last week. Dominic's face darkened. Who? The guard looked uncomfortable. Judge Malcolm Belmont. Serena's father. Dominic closed his eyes briefly, then opened them as something lethal. Prepare the cars. Lily stepped forward. I am coming. No. Yes, my niece. She's bait. That's exactly why I'm coming. Dominic turned on her. You think courage makes you bulletproof? No. But neither does hiding behind your guards. His men looked away. Wisely, Dominic walked toward her. The whole room felt the pressure of him. You are not trained for this. I am trained for men who think shouting makes them powerful. I am trained for staying calm when drunk guests throw things. I'm trained for noticing lies because women like Serena think people like me don't matter enough to fool carefully. His eyes narrowed. Lily stepped closer. And last night, that saved your life. A long silence. Then Raphael said from the doorway, She's right. Dominic did not look pleased. Raphael continued anyway. The child may trust her faster than she trusts armed men, and if Belmont expects Dominic, he may not expect Lily. Dominic's gaze remained on her. You stay beside me. I'm not your shadow. No. His voice dropped. You the reason they'll hesitate. The meaning settled between them. Fake relationship. Public misdirection. A shield made of rumors. Lily understood before he explained. You want them to think I matter to you. Dominic's face betrayed nothing. Yes. Her heart gave one dangerous kick. And do I? His silence stretched too long. Then he said, That is not the question we survive by. But the way he looked at her made Lily think he was lying again. The first time Lily Morgan entered a casino as Dominic Vale's supposed lover. She wore a dark green dress that did not belong to her, and fear that did. The dress had been brought by Eleanor, tailored within an hour. Soft over Lily's curves, instead of punishing them. Lily had expected to hate her reflection. She did not. That frightened her more. Dominic waited at the bottom of the staircase. When she descended, conversation in the foyer stopped. His men stared for half a second too long. Dominic turned. Whatever expression he wore vanished as soon as he saw her. He looked at her as if the room had tilted and only she remained still. Lily's hand tightened on the railing. Don't, she said before he could speak. His brow moved slightly. Don't what? Say something that makes this harder. He came to the base of the stairs. I was going to say, you look prepared. That's a terrible compliment. It wasn't a compliment. Good. His gaze moved over her with controlled intensity. Compliments are dangerous. Lily reached the last step. So are you? Yes. He offered his arm. She stared at it. This is pretend. Dominic's voice lowered. Then pretend well. She placed her hand on his arm. His body went still beneath her fingers. Just for a second. But she felt it. So did he. The casino where Judge Belmont held court was not listed on any tourist map. It sat above a luxury gambling floor, behind mirrored elevators and private security. Inside, Reno's hidden royalty drank champagne beneath chandeliers, while men with violent histories pretended to be investors. The moment Lily entered beside Dominic, heads turned. Whispers spread. Dominic Vale had brought a woman. Not Serena. Not an heiress. Not someone polished by wealth. A curvy motel receptionist in a borrowed dress. Walking beside him as if she had earned the space. Lily felt every stare like a hand on her skin. Dominic leaned close. Eyes on me. She looked up. His face remained calm. If you look at them, they own the moment. If you look at me, we do. Her breath caught. You give terrifying advice. It works. Across the room, Serena stood beside an older man with silver hair and the cruel stillness of inherited power. Judge Malcolm Belmont. When Serena saw Lily on Dominic's arm, her champagne glass trembled. Dominic noticed. His hand covered Lily's where it rested on his sleeve. Possessive. Public. Fake. Too real. Judge Belmont approached with a smile that never reached his eyes. Dominic, I see grief has affected your taste. Dominic's expression did not change, and age has not improved your manners. The judge's eyes slid to Lily. My dear, do you know what kind of man you are standing beside? Lily felt Dominic's body go still. She lifted her chin. Yes. The judge smiled. And you came anyway. Lily looked straight at Serena. I have a habit of not giving keys to liars. The silence after was delicious and terrifying. Serena's face went bloodless. Dominic's thumb moved once over Lily's knuckles. Not affection. Approval. The judge's smile thinned. Careful. Miss Morgan. Women who stand too close to the Vale family have a poor survival record. Lily's heart slammed. Dominic stepped forward. The entire room shifted with him. You will not threaten her. I was offering history. Dominic's voice dropped. Offer it again, and I'll make you part of it. The judge stared at him, then laughed softly. Still dramatic. Still sentimental. Just like Luca. Dominic's mask flickered. Lily saw pain before he buried it. The judge leaned closer. You're rechasing ghosts. The child is gone. Lily's fingers dug into Dominic's sleeve. Serena watched her reaction, then smiled. Not gone. Lily knew it instantly. Serena wanted her afraid. But she had smiled too early. Dominic leaned toward Lily, his mouth near her ear. Did you see it? She knows the child is alive. Lily whispered. His breath touched her skin. Good girl. The words were quiet, controlled, devastating. Lily forgot the room for one dangerous second. Dominic seemed to realize it too. His jaw tightened, and he stepped back. But the damage had been done. Serena had seen. So had the judge. And somewhere across the casino floor, a camera turned toward them. The assassination attempt came 17 minutes later, not with bullets, with a little girl's voice over the casino speakers. Aunt Lily. Lily froze her. The room went silent. Dominic's hand closed around her wrist. Not hard. Protective. The speakers crackled again. Aunt Lily. Are you there? Lily's eyes filled. No. Dominic said sharply. It's a trap. But Lily was already moving. The voice came from the service corridor. Dominic cursed under his breath and followed, his men sweeping in around them. The casino's private hallway stretched ahead. Red carpet. Gold walls. Doors marked staff only. The little voice came again. Please. Lily broke. She ran. Dominic caught her at the corner and pulled her back just as the wall beside her exploded. Gunfire tore through the hallway. Dominic shoved her behind a marble column and covered her with his body again. One hand pressed to the back of her head. "Don't move. She's here." Lily gasped. "That wasn't live." "How do you know?" "Because they wanted you in the open." His eyes were furious. Not at her, at fear. At whoever had used a child's voice to move her like a pawn. Lily pushed against him. "If that's my niece." Dominic gripped her shoulders. "Look at me." She did. Rain was not falling here. There was no motel neon. No front desk between them. Just his face inches from hers. His control fraying at the edges. "I will find her," he said. "But if you die, she loses the only family who will love her without using her." Lily's breath broke. His hands softened immediately. He almost touched her cheek. Stopped. Again. That restraint hurt now. "Why do you keep doing that?" she whispered. His eyes darkened. "What?" "Almost touching me." Gunfire echoed down the hall. Men shouted. Dominic leaned closer. "Because if I start, I don't know if I'll stop." Lily forgot how to breathe. Then Raphael shouted from behind them. "Dominic." The moment shattered. Dominic turned and fired once down the hallway. The threat ended with a body dropping out of sight. Lily flinched. Dominic saw and lowered the gun. Regret crossed his face so quickly she might have imagined it. But she had not. Later, in the armored car racing away from the casino. Lily sat shaking. Dominic sat across from her instead of beside her, as if distance could undo what he had said. It could not. "You used me," Lily said quietly. His gaze lifted. "Yes." The honesty cut. "To make them think I mattered." "Yes." "And now they do." His jaw tightened. "Yes." She laughed once. "Broken. You don't apologize much." "Do you?" "No." 3. The car went silent. His men stared straight ahead. Dominic looked at her for a long time. Then he said, "I am sorry I brought you into a room full of wolves." Lily's eyes burned. But I am not sorry they saw you standing beside me." Her heart twisted. "That's not an apology." "No," he said. "It's the truth." She looked away before he could see what the truth did to her. That night, Dominic took Lily not back to the estate, but to a hidden safe house near Lake Tahoe. Snow lined the dark roads, though Reno still drowned in rain. Pine trees rose like black spears beneath the moon. The house sat beside frozen water. All stone walls and shuttered windows. Quiet as a secret. Forced proximity. Lily muttered when Dominic showed her the guest room. "What?" "Nothing." He stood in the doorway. "You're angry. I'm exhausted. You can be both." She turned on him. "Fine. I'm angry that my sister died and nobody told me. I'm angry that I may have a niece being used as leverage by murderers. I'm angry that you look at me like I'm something you want and then treat me like a liability. I'm angry that I'm scared of you and somehow feel safer when you re-near me. And I'm angry that your almost apologies are better than most people's real ones." Dominic stared at her. The fire in the room cracked. Snow tapped softly against the windows. Lily's chest rose and fell. She expected him to retreat behind control. Instead, he stepped inside and closed the door behind him. Slowly, deliberately. "You should be angry," he said. "That's all." "No." He walked toward her. Lily's pulse scattered. He stopped close enough that the heat of him reached her. I look at you like I want you, because I do. The room disappeared. Lily whispered, Dominic, I treat you like a liability, because wanting you makes you one. That's horrible. Yes, at least you know. His mouth almost curved. Then seriousness returned. I have lived long enough to know that every person I love becomes a weapon in someone else's hand. Love. The word entered the room too soon. Too dangerous. He seemed to regret it instantly. Lily's voice softened. You don't love me. No. Too quick. Too sharp. A denial meant to wound himself before hope could. Lily nodded, pretending it did not sting. Good. Dominic looked at her mouth. Then away. I'll be outside. Guarding me. Guarding the door. There's a difference. He paused. Yes. What? His hand rested on the knob. This one is for me. Then he left. Lily did not sleep. At dawn, she found him on the porch, in the snow. Shirt sleeves rolled up, despite the cold. Speaking quietly into a phone. His breath fogged in the air. A black SUV idled near the trees. He ended the call when he saw her. You'll freeze, he said. You first. He removed his coat and placed it around her shoulders before she could refuse. The warmth surrounded her. Again. She hated how familiar it was becoming. Any news, she asked. Dominic looked toward the lake. The voice recording came from a burner phone linked to a federal marshal. Witness protection. Yes. Hope and fear collided in her chest. Ella. Possibly. Where? His silence answered. You know. I know where the marshal was last seen. That's not the same thing. No. But it's something. Dominic turned to her. There is another complication. Of course there is. Judge Belmont is moving to declare Luca's estate legally absorbed into the Belmont family through Serena's engagement contract. Lily blinked. That sounds like rich people stealing from dead people with paperwork. That is exactly what it is. And Ella, if she is proven to be Luca's child, she inherits his private holdings. Enough money, land, accounts, and votes inside my family to change power. Lily understood. Serena doesn't just want you dead. No. She wants the child erased. Dominic's expression hardened. She wants the Vale family controlled. And you. His eyes met hers. I want my brother's daughter alive. Lily studied him. There were things he was not saying. About revenge. About guilt. About how this child might save his family and destroy him emotionally. Then we find her, Lily said. Dominic looked at her for a long time. We find her. The marshal was found dead by sunset. Not graphically, not dramatically, simply gone from the world in a cheap roadside cabin outside Truckee, leaving behind a burned laptop, a broken watch, and a child's drawing hidden beneath the mattress. Lily stood in the doorway while Dominic's men searched the room. The drawing showed 3 stick figures. A woman with curly hair, a little girl, and a tall man colored entirely in black. Above them, in careful child letters, was written, "The Safe Man." Lily's hand covered her mouth. Dominic stood beside her. "Luca," she whispered. "No." "How do you know?" Dominic reached for the drawing but did not touch it. The tall man had a small mark on his neck. A black rose. Dominic's tattoo. Lily looked at him. You knew her. His face had gone pale beneath his control. No, Dominic. I didn't. But his voice was wrong. Raphael entered behind them. Grim. Boss. Dominic did not turn. Raphael lowered his voice. The child was moved twice under an anonymous protection fund. Payments came from one of your accounts. Lily stared at Dominic. You've been protecting her. I didn't know. How can you not know? Dominic turned sharply. Because Luca set up accounts under my name before he died. His control cracked. For the first time, Lily saw panic in him. Not fear of bullets. Fear of what grief had hidden. He knew. Dominic whispered. He knew he might die. He used me as a shield without telling me. Lily's anger dissolved into something more painful. Dominic picked up the broken watch from the desk. Inside the cracked face was a tiny compartment. Raphael opened it carefully. A folded note fell out. Dominic recognized the handwriting before anyone spoke. His brother's. He unfolded it. Lily watched his hands tremble once. Just once. Dominic read silently. Then his face hardened into devastation. Lily touched his arm. What does it say? For a moment. He did not answer. Then he handed it to her. Lily read. Dom, if you are reading this, I failed them. Nora made me better. Ella made me afraid. Serena knows more than she should. Trust no bride in white. The real key is with the woman who refuses the wrong phrase. Lily's skin went cold. The woman who refuses the wrong phrase. She whispered. Dominic stared at her. Lily shook her head. That's impossible. Luca died 3 years ago. He couldn't know me. No, Dominic said slowly. But Nora could. Lily's breath caught. Dominic took the note back. His eyes scanning again. Your sister knew how you worked. She knew you trusted procedure. She knew if anyone gave you a rule, you would keep it, even if powerful people pushed you. Lily's eyes filled. Nora had called her lighthouse. Had she left a path through the dark? Dominic's phone rang. He answered. Listened. His expression changed. Where? Lily stepped closer. Dominic's gaze met hers. They found Ella. Lily nearly collapsed. Dominic caught her elbow. This time, he did not let go. She's at a wedding chapel in Reno, he said. Lily stared. A wedding chapel. Serena is taking her public. Raphael cursed. Dominic's voice turned deadly calm. She's going to marry me by force. The plan was monstrous in its elegance. Serena had used Judge Belmont to produce an emergency custody order, claiming Ella was an unstable witness child being trafficked by the Vale family. She had arranged a public reconciliation ceremony at a luxury wedding chapel attached to a casino, inviting press, investors, and half of Reno's Underworld. If Dominic refused to appear, Serena would present Ella as proof the Vales were hiding an heir. If Dominic attacked, he would look guilty. If he came peacefully, Serena would force him into a marriage contract under cameras, then use Ella as leverage forever. Lily listened as Dominic's men explained it. Then she said, So we give her what she wants. Everyone turned. Dominic's eyes narrowed. No. Lily ignored him. She expects you to come angry. She expects violence. She expects you to either refuse or explode. So don't. Dominic stepped toward her. What are you suggesting? Lily's heart pounded. A fake Engagement. Silence. Raphael blinked. Dominic's men looked like the floor had disappeared. Lily kept going, because if she stopped, fear would swallow her. You walk in with me. Publicly. You make it look like Serena was never your fiancée. Like she was the liar from the beginning. It ruins her story. It makes her unstable in front of everyone. Dominic stared at her. You would put yourself in front of cameras beside me. If it gets Ella out. You don't understand what that means. Yes. I do. It means I become a bigger target. It means every enemy I have will know your face. They already do. His jaw clenched. It means rumors. Scandal. People tearing apart your life. Lily laughed softly. My life is a motel. Debt. And a missing sister. Let them try. Dominic's eyes burned. This is not courage. This is sacrifice. Maybe I learned from you. That hit him. Lily saw it. Dominic moved close. His voice low enough only she could hear. I can't let you do this. You don't let me do anything. His face tightened. She stepped closer. You said I'm not yours. His gaze dropped to her mouth. Then returned to her eyes. Eyelid. Everything inside her stilled. Dominic looked as if the confession cost him blood. You are not property, he said. You are not a possession. But you have become mine in every way that terrifies me. Lily's breath shook. That sounds like obsession. It is. She should have stepped back. She did not. And if I say no, his eyes softened in the smallest, most devastating way. Then I suffer quietly. That answer broke something in her. Not because it was romantic, because she believed him. A man who could order cities to tremble would not force her heart. He would simply burn in silence. Lily reached up and touched the edge of his jaw. He went still, completely still, like no one had touched him gently in years. This is still fake, she whispered. Dominic's eyes closed briefly. Yes, but when his hand finally rose and covered hers, there was nothing fake in the way he held on. The wedding chapel glowed gold against the rainy Reno night. White roses lined the entrance. Cameras flashed beneath the awning. Luxury cars crowded the curb. Men with guns pretended to be drivers. Women in diamonds pretended not to notice. Serena stood at the altar inside, dressed in white again. Beside her, a small girl in a pale blue dress clutched a stuffed rabbit. Lily saw her through the glass doors and stopped breathing. Ella had Nora's curls. Nora's eyes. Nora's frightened little mouth. Dominic stood beside Lily under a black umbrella, his hand resting at the small of her back. Not pushing. Anchoring. You ready? He asked. No. Good. She looked up. His expression was calm. Fear keeps you honest. That's terrifying advice again. Inconsistent. Despite everything. She almost smiled. Then cameras turned. Dominic stepped from the rain with Lily at his side. The chapel went silent. Serena's face changed first. Confusion. Then rage. Then fear. Judge Belmont rose from the front pew. What is this? Dominic's voice carried through the chapel. Ah, correction. Lily felt every eye pierce her. Her body wanted to shrink. Dominic's hand pressed lightly at her back. Don't. She lifted her chin. Serena laughed. Brittle and high. You brought the motel girl to my wedding. Dominic did not look at Serena. He looked at Ella. The child stared back at him. Uncertain, Dominic's voice softened when he spoke. Hello? Ella. Serena grabbed the girl's shoulder. Ella flinched. Lily saw red. Take your hand off her. The words left her before fear could stop them. Everyone turned. Serena's smile became vicious. You think you belong here? No, Lily said. But neither do you. A murmur ran through the chapel. Dominic looked at Lily then. And for one reckless second, pride broke through his control. Serena saw it and unraveled. She is nobody, Serena shouted. She checks in truckers and cleans up after strangers. Lily's face burned. Dominic's voice cut through the room like a blade. She saved my life. Silence. And because she saved my life, every person in this room will show her respect. Judge Belmont scoffed. You cannot rewrite an engagement contract with a motel employee. Dominic smiled then. It was not kind. No, but I can release the recording of your daughter giving my room number to Ricci assassins. Serena went white. The judge stopped moving. Dominic lifted one hand. A screen behind the altar flickered on. Security footage filled it. Serena in the Silver Pines lobby. Serena giving the wrong phrase. Serena grabbing Lily. Serena whispering, You have no idea what you just ruined. Then another clip. Serena in a casino corridor, handing a drive to a Ricci captain. The chapel erupted. Cameras flashed. Judge Belmont shouted for security. Dominic's men moved first. Then the side doors burst open. Ricci gunmen entered through the chapel hallway. The ceremony became chaos. People screamed, dropped, crawled between pews. Bullets shattered stained glass. White roses flew apart. Dominic pushed Lily behind him. But Lily's eyes were on Ella. The child stood frozen near the altar as Serena tried to drag her toward the back exit. Lily ran. Dominic shouted her name. Lily did not stop. She shoved through overturned chairs. Heart pounding. Rain and gunfire and screams blending into one terrible roar. Serena saw her coming and pulled a small gun from beneath her bouquet. Stay back. Lily stopped 6 feet away. Ella sobbed. Dominic moved through the chaos behind Lily. But a gunman blocked him. Serena pressed the gun near Ella's shoulder. Serena screamed, Call them off or I swear. Lily looked at Ella. Not at the gun. At the child. Ella, she said, voice trembling. My name is Lily. I knew your mama. Ella's crying hitched. She was my sister. Lily continued. She loved pancakes with too much syrup. She sang badly in the car. She used to draw stars on my wrist when I was sad. Ella's eyes widened. Nora had drawn stars on hers too. Lily saw recognition. Serena saw it too. Shut up. Serena hissed. Lily stepped closer. Dominic's voice came from behind her. Deadly and afraid. Lily. Don't. She kept her eyes on Ella. Your mama called me her lighthouse. Did she tell you that? Ella nodded. Tears running down her cheeks. Serena's hand shook. The bride started shaking again. Not from rage now. From losing control. Shut up, Serena screamed. She turned the gun toward Lily. Dominic fired. The shot struck Serena's hand. The gun fell. Dominic S. Men surged forward. Lily grabbed Ella and pulled her into her arms, turning her body to shield the child as Serena screamed and lunged. Dominic reached them 1 second later. He wrapped one arm around Lily and Ella both, his body covering theirs as the last gunfire cracked through the chapel. Stained glass rained around them like colored snow. Lily clutched Ella so tightly the child's stuffed rabbit pressed between them. Dominic's face was inches from Lily's. For the first time, he looked afraid. Not of death. Of arriving too late. "Are you hit?" he demanded. Lily shook her head. "Ella." The little girl cried into Lily's shoulder. "She's okay." Dominic closed his eyes, just once. Then Serena laughed from the floor, clutching her injured hand as guards restrained her. "You think this ends anything?" she gasped. "The Rixus will come. The Belmonts will come. She'll die because you looked at her like that." Dominic turned slowly. His face became the thing legends warned about. Lily held Ella tighter. Dominic walked to Serena and crouched in front of her. "You were right about one thing," he said quietly. "Everyone I love becomes a weapon." Serena smiled through pain. Then Dominic leaned closer. "But you misunderstood the lesson." His voice dropped. "I don't stop loving them. I become the war." Serena's smile died. The scandal destroyed the Belmont family before sunrise. Footage from the chapel leaked everywhere, Serena exposed. Judge Belmont implicated. Dominic Vale shielding a motel receptionist and a child beneath shattered stained glass. News stations called Lily the mystery woman who saved the Mafia boss twice. Social media turned her into a headline. Reporters camped outside the Silver Pines. Marty sold 3 interviews before Dominic's lawyers silenced him. Lily did not see any of it until 3 days later. She was in a private hospital suite overlooking the city, sitting beside Ella's bed while the little girl slept with Pancake curled at her feet. Dominic stood outside the glass wall, speaking to federal agents, lawyers, and men who feared him enough to pretend they did not. Lily had expected Ella to be frightened of him. She was, at first. Then Dominic brought her a small wooden music box that had belonged to Luca. Ella had stared at him and asked, "Are you the safe man?" Dominic had gone completely still. Then he knelt beside her bed, expensive suit and all, until he was eye level with a 4-year-old girl. "I'm trying to be," he said. Ella had touched the black rose tattoo on his neck. "My mama said if I ever saw the black rose, I should be brave." Dominic had not moved for a long time. When he finally stood, he left the room without a word. Raphael found him in the hallway with one hand against the wall, grief finally bending him where bullets could not. Lily saw. She did not follow. Some pain deserved privacy. On the 4th night, Dominic entered the suite after Ella fell asleep. Lily sat near the window, wrapped in a blanket, watching Reno's lights blink beneath the dark. "You should sleep," he said. "You always say that." "You never do." She looked at him. He looked exhausted, still immaculate, still dangerous, but frayed at the edges in ways only she seemed allowed to see. "What happens now?" Lily asked. Dominic sat across from her, leaving space. Always space now. As if after the chapel, after admitting obsession, after almost losing her, he no longer trusted himself near her. "Ella will remain under private protection. Legal custody is complicated. But Raphael found Nora's letters naming you guardian if anything happened. Lily's eyes filled. She did. Yes. And the Vale family. They will challenge nothing. Because you ordered them not to. Dominic's gaze was steady. Because Ella is a child, not a throne. Lily believed him. That was the dangerous part. And, Serena, in custody. For how long? His expression cooled. Long enough. She did not ask what that meant. She was learning the shape of his silences. Dominic leaned forward, elbows on knees. I arranged a new apartment for you. Secure building. No obligation. No debt. Yours. Lily's heart tightened. That sounds like a goodbye gift. His jaw flexed. It is a choice. For me? Yes. And for you. His eyes lifted. Something raw moved in them. I don't get clean choices. Lily laughed softly. No. You get dramatic ones. He almost smiled. Then the silence returned. Heavy. Intimate. Painful. Lily stood and walked to the window. I spent years thinking love was something that made women stupid. She said, my mother loved men who emptied her bank account. Nora loved danger and disappeared. Guests at the motel came in with wedding rings and lies. I thought the smartest thing I could do was never want anything too much. Dominic stood slowly behind her, not touching, close enough that she felt him. And then he asked, then you walked into my motel and gave me a rule. The bride wears black. She nodded. I thought I was protecting a room, but I think Nora was protecting Ella. Luca was protecting Nora. You were protecting a secret you didn't even know you carried. Her voice trembled, and somehow I ended up protecting you. Dominic's reflection watched her in the glass. You did. I don't know what that makes us. He was silent for a long time. Then he said, dangerous. Lily turned. He was close. Too close. Not close enough. Is that all? His eyes searched hers. No. The word barely sounded like him. Too honest. Too vulnerable. Lily waited. Dominic swallowed. And for the first time since she had met him, he looked like a man facing something he could not command. When I saw Serena point that gun at you, he said, everything I built inside myself failed. Every rule, every strategy, every cold thing that kept me alive. There was only one thought left. What? His voice broke softly around the truth. Not her. Lily's eyes burned. Dominic stepped closer. I have wanted power, revenge, silence, control. His gaze held hers. I have never wanted peace until I watched you hold that child. Lily whispered. Dominic, I am not a gentleman. I know. I have enemies. I know. I will never be normal. I know. His face tightened. And if you stay near me, I will become possessive, protective, impossible. Lily gave a shaky laugh. You already are. Yes. But you stopped when I needed you to stop. His eyes darkened. I will always stop if you ask. That was the vow. Not diamonds. Not flowers. Not luxury. Control offered back to her by a man who lived by taking it. Lily touched his chest. Over the empty birdcage tattoo. What does this mean? Dominic covered her hand with his. This was Luca's joke. He said I kept my heart in a cage because I was afraid it would embarrass me. Despite her tears, Lily smiled. Smart brother. Yes. And now, Dominic looked down at her hand against his heart. Now the cage is open. Lily rose onto her toes and kissed him. Dominic went still, as if one wrong move might shatter the world. Then his hand lifted to her cheek. Slow, careful, reverent. He kissed her back with restraint, so intense it felt like hunger chained to devotion. Not soft, not safe, but controlled. Trembling at the edge of everything he refused to take without permission. When Lily pulled away, his forehead rested against hers. His eyes stayed closed. I should leave, he whispered. Do you want to? No. Then don't. He opened his eyes. There was no victory in them, only awe, as if she had handed him something more dangerous than a kingdom. Trust. 6 months later, the Silver Pines Motel had a new owner. Not Dominic. Lily. She refused to let him buy her a mansion, a casino, or a life so expensive it no longer resembled hers. But the motel had gone bankrupt after the shooting, and Lily said someone should turn the place where everything almost ended into somewhere safe for people who had nowhere else to go. Dominic called that sentimental. Then he paid the back taxes anonymously. Lily found out anyway. They argued for 40 minutes. Ella watched from the lobby sofa, eating syrup-soaked pancakes from a paper plate, while Pancake the cat slept on the front desk like management. The motel was different now. New glass, better lights, fresh paint, a security system so advanced it made federal agents jealous. The neon sign still glowed red, but beneath it hung a smaller one Lily had chosen herself. No one gets a key without the phrase. On opening night, rain fell over Reno again. Not violently, softly, like memory learning gentleness. Guests filled the lobby. Some were travelers. Some were women sent quietly through Raphael's network because they needed new names, safe rooms, and people who would believe them. Lily checked them in herself. Dominic stood near the window in a black suit, watching. Still feared. Still dangerous. Still the kind of man who made conversations lower when he entered. But when Ella ran across the lobby and threw herself against his leg, he bent without hesitation and lifted her into his arms. Lily watched them. Her heart ached with something too full to name. Dominic looked over Ella's curls and found her gaze. The room blurred. For all his power, he still looked at Lily as if she were the first unlocked door he had ever trusted. Later, after the guests settled and Ella fell asleep upstairs, Lily stepped outside under the motel awning. Dominic followed. Rain silvered the parking lot. The mountains were shadows beyond the lights. The rebuilt lobby glowed behind them, warm and alive. Do you ever miss being invisible? Dominic asked. Lily laughed softly. Sometimes. He looked at her. Do you regret it? She knew what he meant. The key, the refusal, the storm. Him. Lily reached into her pocket and pulled out the old brass key to room 214. She had kept it, though the lock had been replaced. She placed it in his palm. Dominic looked down. The night we met, you asked how I knew she was lying. Lily said. His fingers closed around the key. And Lily smiled, because she thought being loved meant having access. Dominic's gaze lifted to hers. And what is it? Lily stepped closer beneath the rain-cooled neon. It means knowing the phrase. His eyes softened in the way only she was allowed to see. Then he took a small black box from his coat. Lily's breath stopped. Dominic opened it. Inside was not a diamond ring. It was a key. Black metal. Elegant. Heavy. To what she whispered. His voice was low. Not a mansion. Not a cage. Not a debt. He placed the key in her hand. My home. My life. Every locked room I have left. Lily's eyes filled. That sounds like a proposal. Dominic looked terrified for half a second. Then he became still. Honest. It is. Rain whispered around them. Inside. The motel phone rang. Pancake knocked something off the desk. Somewhere upstairs. Ella laughed in her sleep. Life continued. Messy. Fragile. Real. Lily looked at the man who had entered her world as danger and become something far more complicated. A storm. A shield. A wound, learning warmth. She closed her fingers around the key. What's the security phrase? She asked. Dominic stepped closer. For once. He smiled. A real one. Only for her. The bride wears black, he said. Lily touched his face. And the groom. Dominic lowered his forehead to hers. The groom waits until she opens the door. So Lily did. She kissed him beneath the red neon of the motel where she had once been invisible. While rain washed the parking lot clean, and Dominic Vale held her like a man who had finally found the one person powerful enough to refuse him and brave enough to stay. And upstairs, a little girl with her mother, curls, slept safely for the first time in years. Guarded by a family built not from blood alone, but from every locked door someone had refused to open for the wrong person. The Silver Pines sign buzzed softly in the rain. Vacancy. A place for the lost. A warning for the cruel. A promise for anyone still waiting to be seen. And in room 214, behind a door that no longer held secrets, Lily Morgan and Dominic Vale began again.